Welcome to the wonderful world of Woven. This is a little adventure game following two soon-to-be best friends, Stuffy and Glitch, through a series of little puzzles which require you to exchange limbs and colours to solve. First things first, this is actually a pre-alpha demo which is available for anyone to download on Steam, so naturally it's a little rough around the edges. It does seem to be perfectly stable and has a decent amount of length to it for what is currently an incomplete game. You get a little introduction when you boot up the game which explains how the two protagonists met. Glitch is a mechanical bug which has been damaged and thrown in the skip. He's lost all his memories, however fortune is in his favour as he meets up with Stuffy, a curious elephant who wants to escape the valley and explore. The controls are the first thing that leap out to me as incomplete, as initially I was trying to use the keyboard to control the camera. It's jagged, awkward to use and practically impossible at times. If you're going to play this I would highly recommend using the right click and drag method to control the camera. It wouldn't be quite so critical to the gameplay if it used standard movement controls, but instead you need to point where you want to walk with Glitch and click to move, making it act more like a point and click adventure even though it isn't. The rest of your controls are in the bottom corners of the screen. The left has the controls for Glitch, which are mainly utility abilities such as light sources, scanning creatures and such, whereas in the right you have Stuffy's controls, which are more to do with interacting with the environment and movement. And Stuffy's movement abilities is really where the game gets its own identity. You have a basic set fitting of an elephant when you start off. You have the ability to stamp and push things around, but not long into the game you meet a rabbit, and after Glitch has scanned him, you can trade out body parts for rabbit equivalents. This is all done at little stations which are dotted around the map. The only examples I found of new abilities in the demo were if you used the rabbit head you got supervision, which I couldn't really tell the difference. The main benefits came from the legs which allowed you to move faster and jump, but you do lose the ability to stamp which is needed for some of the little side jobs. You can also change the patterns on your character at these stations, and there's a surprising amount of choice as you have little patches you can change, and it even has things like the inside of your leg can be a separate colour. This is also worked into part of the gameplay at one point as you need to dress up like a snake to appease his snobbish fashion sense. You collect the colours from around the map in the form of acorn-shaped things, some of which are just lying around and you need to find them, others require you to perform an ability to acquire it, such as stamping on a bridge or trying to trick a little critter into popping up in front of you so you can steal it. The gameplay itself is relatively standard open-world adventure style stuff. You have free reign to explore the area, but the only way out is to solve the puzzle that blocks the way, which usually requires you to find an ability or a colour to get past it. Currently I would say that the world looks good, but it does seem a little empty and bland. This could just be a case of it not being finished, but there are areas that feel a little bit barren. Some areas also appear to have been progressed much further than others. The part I found the most enjoyable was the Dark Forest, as it had quite a different feel to it. It was far more populated in terms of vegetation and had a lot of different paths to adventure down, most of which ended in a new discovery. And it also requires you to use Glitch in order to light up the mushrooms in the area every so often. The other alarm bell for me in terms of it not being a complete game is the animations for the characters aren't fantastic. They do the job but they're very basic at the moment and it feels a little bit too robotic and pre-programmed. It doesn't really fit with a fabric environment which should be quite fluid in a way. It does already have some narration which is pretty good, a soothing and well-told story, albeit quite simple, but I wouldn't be expecting a twisting, twirling roller coaster of a story for what is a relatively childish environment. It definitely has the potential to be a great, friendly and fun game given the chance. Currently the content on offer is very bare bones, but it certainly gets the message across on what the ultimate goal is. It currently has a Kickstarter running and this will be going until Friday, October 7th. At time of recording it has 21% of its total amount, and curiously it is already on Steam with a release date of the 2nd of October 2017. I don't know if this means it will be running in early access until release though. My opinion is that while there are a lot of good points in the demo, the controls are very clumsy and the animations are a bit lifeless. When there are so many other complete games on offer, it's hard to justify backing one which is essentially a dream currently. I'm interested to see where the project goes and hope that it does eventually get a full release, but I won't be putting my money behind it yet. I think the best thing to do is download the demo and check it out yourself if you're interested, as it does give a good indication of what this game could become.